Warning, the following video has flashing lights and also includes content that may be deemed inappropriate for some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. Shep from Emergency Encounters. Yes, a new member of the Midnight Society science team and a good friend of Colleen O'Hara has found his way into the darkness of the Fox Den for another episode of Midnight Lycanthropy here on LordeStarfox Radio. I do see you come bearing gifts. Absolutely delicious. I really did need to feed. And if you were going to awaken me from my slumber, yes, I really did appreciate being fed. Now that you have released me from my shackles, it is once again time for Emergency Encounters and LordeStarfox to take a walk into the madness.
Stood up. I said, oh my god, it's a werewolf, and everybody in the car freaked out.
My creatures of the night. Yes, once again, it is midnight lycanthropy time here on LordeStarfox Radio. We have a new member of the Midnight Society and the North American Dogman Project science team joining us. Yes, he will be hopefully coming on monthly to sit around the late night fire as we again burn the timber into the early hours of the morning. Shep, my guy, how the heck are you doing?
I'm doing great.
That's excellent. I do remember when I first started potentially covering this topic before. I would like to hear some of your thoughts and how you got into this. It wasn't that long ago in Montana, there was a rancher or farmer that gave something a permanent dirt nap. Results that he was told is it was some sort of gray wolf mix, yet he claimed, being in the area of Montana for as long as he had, that it definitely was not like any wolf he had seen before. Pretty interesting stuff.
I'm very well aware of it, and that is not, that's definitely not a wolf. It looks more like a hyena, and then there's another case floating around. It looks like, normal country people made backwoods, and very recent pictures, I'll get them to you, but it's the exact same creature, big heavy build, wide snout. It's not a dog, man. It looks more like a North American hyena or something to me, and I'd love to talk to the people in Montana just up the road from me. As you can tell, I'm staying up on it pretty well, like with the cave hyena. And now I live in northern Wyoming, and I help out with the North American Dogman Project in Wyoming and Montana. Oh, not to mention the amount of people who disappear in our national parks every year correlates almost exactly to the amount of prey taken by large megafauna in Africa.
Ooh.
It just starts getting worse and worse. Everything starts... It gets bizarre, but then things make sense in a bizarre sort of way. And like you said, it's a little scary too.
Yeah, it really is. And I've learned over the years just how smart apex predators can be, meaning we as people have a different view of what is intellectual.
What happens when people start doing the math on all the missing people in national parks? The data is there. You and I both know it is. And yet everyone ignores it. Well, that's where you and I differentiate from those people. We want to know what's out there, no matter how horrible it is.
Yes, exactly.
I'm waiting to talk to a certain retired SEAL about what we do. He's pretty interested, though.
Wow, keep me interested and posted too, my friend. That's excellent. What really got you interested in this topic?
I guess the best way to tell is how, as it happened. I have a lot of friends in the military. Skinwalker Ranch is a well-known phenomenon. You get riders, or something follows you home, and something had followed this guy home. He's in Northern Virginia, DC suburbs, and he sees what he thinks is I think, an 8 or 9 foot werewolf. And I got intrigued because I've always been intrigued in werewolves. I've always looked at movies and said, that's right, that's not right, so on and so forth. And a lot of things in my life started making sense. I've had horrific nightmares. It's always the same one where I wake up gasping, paralyzed in my chest, being chased by what I thought were wolves on 2 legs. It's been all my life. And it's not, so it led me to Dogman. And this is not something I wanted. It'd be a lot easier to have a Sasquatch encounter. But I do know around when I was age 8 to 10, I think I had a Dogman encounter out in the middle of nowhere in Wyoming. And I've been obsessed ever since I understood why I'm having those nightmares. And the sleep paralysis is just absolutely a real thing. They could be coming here just for food, through a portal interdimensionally. They could be visitors from somewhere else. Why not? There's that, there's a UFO abduction in Wyoming. And the guy who's abducted was told they come here for food. And it's pretty well written up. I can find it for you.
One of the things I've heard and was able to dig some great stuff up on is, well, when you think of Barilla down in like Tennessee and Kentucky, they have some really old school talk about these orbs that were like these crafts that came down and dropped off these bear people and then left. Okay, well, we are talking about people that are very familiar with the land and things they see all the time. What we just spoke about right there, why would any of these indigenous cultures have any reason to just come up with that they saw these weird bear people coming down from these lights?
It boggles the mind that we can believe, like in that one incident. Oh, I can't remember when it was. I think it was in 1100 or something, when there was basically a UFO over Europe cascading beams of light. But once we go over to indigenous people, all of a sudden, we don't believe in orbs. Does that really sound so crazy? And not to mention, we have a lot of people talking about orbs, Dogman, Sasquatch, UFOs. Orbs are still very much being spoke of, as you know. Yeah, which is it? Is it an image? Is it a vision? Is it real? Or is it both?
Interesting stuff for sure.
There was one Dogman where it was in the South. They were talking about how their first Dogman experience was in the 30s, and he was yelling at that a man came through the woods chasing a Dogman that was dragging his wife by the hair. So they know the Dogman definitely takes animals there. I have a question. Maybe we cover it in the future, market for later, but what are your thoughts on if someone has an experience with a cryptid that they're marked forever, and they would be seeing it again, or more likely to see cryptids again?
Whew, that's a pretty hot take right there. I love it, man. I think from just cases I've gathered and people I've spoke to, yeah, it seems like a lot of people that are in rough spots in their life or a ton going on, and they have this interaction, or then you have other people, like you said, that claim they've seen one at Skinwalker Ranch and then it follows them home. I mean, I had another case from Wisconsin that a friend of mine presented to me. These friends were going to a powwow. They saw this strange looking wolf that was running beside them. As they ended up getting closer to the powwow, which was very far away, they saw this same strange looking wolf stand up and walk out of the corn towards them.
It's hard to understand why you would see one, or if you repeatedly see one, whatever. I'm just wondering if I'll ever see one again.
There are people that seem to have consistent interactions. There are some people that only had a few. I heard this guy was camping in a makeshift, basically van or a little RV that he had set up. As he's sleeping, something starts banging on the side of his car or van, whatever this was. And he hears this thing trying to open the doors, dragging its claws across the window. He flips on all of his lights, right? So it lights up the whole area. Obviously, this thing didn't like it. Anything that's nocturnal is not going to like that. He then started slamming on his horn. Yeah, it's not going to like that either. And he sped off, right? Well, this thing stood in the road and watched him. He obviously doesn't go back. I don't know if he's had future experiences, but if he was to, per se, continuously go back to that area, yeah, sure, I bet you he would have more experiences. But is it because he went back to the area or he's marked? It's interesting.
Yeah, it's tough because it could be simple territoriality too. When I was out here buying my house, I made a deal with the mountains. I was driving past them and I said, I'm here. Let's be cool. Peace. And I got hit with the worst blast of hate I've ever felt in my life. My heart started pounding through my chest. I had to pull over. I was previously doing freeway speeds. It was just a very unsettling experience last year.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. I really do appreciate you, Shep, and glad you're part of the squad.
I'm happy to be here, and that was a great chat. I'm looking forward to having more.
Oh, you legends, I do adore every single one of you. And thank you for hanging out tonight. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the truth to the algorithm. And remember, there are things that go bump in the night. Yes, we will see you very soon.